My childhood best friend demoted me from maid of honor after the dress fitting, because I was too pretty for her big day. And now her whole family thinks I'm dramatic for not going. Posted by You Right Knows 8825. Throwaway because I don't want anyone in my friend group to find this obviously. Sophie and I, both 27, have been close friends since we were 4. We're not the speak every single day Laurel and Susanna type friends, but I genuinely considered her a sister and her parents like an aunt and uncle. Our families are close. My whole family is invited to her wedding, as is my boyfriend's family. My boyfriend is Sophie's brother's best friend. That's how close we all are. So I wasn't really surprised when she asked me to be her maid of honor, and I think I've been a good one. Well, 2 weeks ago Sophie, the other bridesmaids, and I went to try on bridesmaid dresses. I thought we all had a good time and that it was a successful trip as we found dresses. Apparently not really, because a couple of days later Sophie asked to meet me. She asked that I step down from being maid of honor. She said seeing me in the bridesmaid dress made her realize she just didn't want me stealing focus from her, and that she wouldn't feel good standing up there knowing everyone was probably comparing us. I was so hurt. I admit I cried right there in the coffee shop. Partly because I never wanted her to think that anyone would be thinking anything other than that she was the most beautiful bride on her wedding day, and partly because I was just so excited to be up there with her, and she was kicking me out over something that I couldn't even control and wasn't really true. So I said fine, it's her wedding. If she didn't want me up there I wouldn't be. But I wasn't going to come to the wedding as a guest when clearly my presence was going to be a burden to her. Sophie said that wasn't what she meant, and I asked her to explain. She said she desperately wanted me there, so she was going to put aside her feelings, but she just wanted pictures at the altar to be with her looking the best, and to have that moment with everyone looking at her up there. She also wanted me to tell everyone I dropped out because I was too busy. I said none of this felt fair and I wasn't going to lie for her. I was a good friend and did nothing wrong and she was being a brat, but that was her prerogative and I didn't have to play along. I told my boyfriend about this, who was pretty horrified, and agreed that if I didn't want to go I shouldn't, although he still is because he's friends with the groom. But my mum and stepdad think I would be the Ada if I didn't go. My mum said it's also been obvious that Sophie was insecure. I never noticed this, and that she can understand where she's coming from. She said I've had the spotlight our whole lives. Again, I don't think this is true. Sophie is far more outgoing and well-liked than I have ever been, and even though it's pretty sad, maybe she does deserve to be the princess on her wedding day, and I shouldn't hate her for it. She says I'll regret missing the wedding over this. My stepdad says I should go because she's my oldest friend, and even if she is being unfair, sometimes you have to let people be irrational. I really don't know now. Sophie and I have so many mutual friends, there's not a lot of people I can ask about this without it getting back to her, so here I am. I feel like maybe I'm being a jerk having this blow up, but I don't see why I should even stay friends with someone who would exclude me from her wedding party over something superficial. And clearly she's been sitting on these feelings forever. Not to mention, I already paid for her whole bachelorette party and the bridesmaid dress, and contributed to the cost of her wedding jewelry. And now, I just feel used. So am I being a petty Ada by refusing to go? Relevant comments. Downvoted commenter. Your friend told you she didn't feel pretty enough to have you stood up next to her on her special wedding day. I was all for saying you weren't the asshole, until you mentioned your mother. It's telling that your mum has been able to see how insecure Sophie, and you haven't when she's meant to be your friend. The fact your mum has pointed out that Sophie has always been insecure and too, her best friend, haven't noticed that speaks a lot about your friendship. The fact your response is that maybe your friend deserves to feel like a princess on her wedding day kinda seals it for me. You are the Ada. Op response, I meant princess, like maybe she deserves to have her cake and eat it. And yes, it's a maybe because I've never thought getting married means you get to treat the people you love like crap. Commenter 2. Not the Ada. Her decision shows she's not actually your friend. Friends don't actually care if you're prettier than them, and honestly, I think your boyfriend sucks for still going. He should stand by you. His friend fiancé disrespected you. He should see they are a unit and realize you two are a unit. If one of them hurts you, it should hurt him. Anyone who tells you to swallow disrespect cares more about their peace than your well-being. Op response. Well, he said should I also not go, and I was like no, let's not become those people. It's not a boycott. If I didn't want him to go he wouldn't, but if he didn't then Sophie's brother would know why and then it would become a whole big thing. Plus then, his sister who is also my friend would feel like she shouldn't go, and I just didn't want to start the domino effect. Especially since I don't even know if I intend to tell anyone why I'm not going. Op response to a downvoted comment regarding the competition between herself and Sophie for attention. Op response. The spotlight she's referring to is specifically male attention, and I guess looks-based attention generally from people we meet. And yes, I'm aware of that, but that's not what I consider to be spotlight, or not the be-all end-all anyway. Sure, I get approached more by men. But Sophie was always the one with more friends, better grades, the person teachers actually liked. She was in clubs and well known. I considered all that to even out or even swing in her favor, honestly. But yeah, it's true I never realized that the male looks attention thing bothered her that much. But to be fair, mothers do pick up on things about your friendships when you're younger that sometimes you don't. Sophie never let on that this one thing bugged her to this extent. It's true that I've always got more male attention people commenting on my looks, I admit that. But in the grand scheme of life, I never felt like that was a big deal. Sophie dated often while my current boyfriend is my second ever relationship. She has always had more friends, been more popular, even better academically. It's not like she's come second to me in everything, just in this one thing. So I guess I just figured it evened out, or even that she was winning out of the two of us. The thing is, I probably would forgive her if she ever bothered to apologize. But clearly she still thinks she's in the right here. Op on if she is professionally more successful than Sophie. Op response, no, not at all. I've inherited some savings, and my boyfriend takes care of our household expenses, so I have more disposable income. But Sophie is far ahead of me professionally, and is much more career-minded. Commenter 4. Wow, I wonder if your better financial situation is viewed by Sophie as an extension of something like your looks that you didn't have to work for. Although of course inherited money/relationship financial support absolutely shouldn't be thought about in those terms. Your boyfriend is also Sophie's brother's best friend. Did you meet your boyfriend through Sophie's family? I wonder if she feels like your family and even her family all favor you, her mother, brother, aunt, cousin, groom, and the wedding was just another reminder. Op response, I guess I kind of met him through her family. Her brother and my BF did the same sport, that's how they knew each other. My stepbrother also competed in the same sport, so I knew who he was anyway, but they were in different categories. But yeah, I guess I got talking to him and stayed in his orbit because of Sophie's brother, because they stayed friends all those years, so he was kind of around. Obviously, it's weird looking back on it now, because you question how you remember things. I always felt like I was the annoying one, not in a mean way, but we're the only two girls in the immediate family. She has a brother, I have all stepbrothers. And I was always the difficult one because I didn't like trying new things or I just wasn't as easygoing. The boys always thought I was a bit of a stick in the mud. Update. Nearly 3 weeks later. So I don't know if anyone wanted an update, but the situation has somewhat concluded now, and I thought I would provide some closure. Firstly, some digging was done by my boyfriend and myself, and we think we found the roots of the issue. A couple of months ago, my boyfriend, Sophie's brother, the groom, and Sophie were out for drinks. I remember this night. I had an event for another friend and couldn't go. Over drinks, the groom apparently asked when my BF was going to propose to me, and my BF said probably sometime next year. Groom then made a comment to the effect of, why would you wait that long? She's perfect. Now, according to both my boyfriend and Sophie's brother, Sophie was really mad about this because Groom waited several years to propose to her. She's been bringing it up to him regularly since. Obviously, we all assume he meant perfect for you, not literally perfect, but Sophie appears to be taking it personally. The second thing is that my mother did a little gentle probing, and it turns out that, at the bridesmaid fitting, Sophie's mum told Sophie that she should have chosen a dress that wasn't going to make me look better than her. I don't think she said it like that to Sophie, this is just how she relayed it to my mum and draw attention. According to Sophie's mum, her aunt and cousins said the same thing, and I guess one of ganged up on her about it. She also has been on Sophie about a pre-wedding diet. So it seems like these two things got blown out of proportion and ended up in Sophie's request that I not be Mo. I ended up deciding not to speak to Sophie about any of this. She's planning her wedding, she should enjoy this time, I don't want to make this about me, or our friendship. And if I'm being totally honest, I was kind of done with the friendship after the initial conversation. I wanted to know the reasons for my own peace of mind, but the truth is, nothing was going to change the fact that she took her feelings out on me, who only ever wanted to support her. None of these things came from me, or had anything to do with me, but she chose to take a wrecking ball to a 20-year friendship, rather than confront the people who upset her. I can't wrap my head around that, and I'm not going to try going forward. That being said, I decided to go to the wedding, as my boyfriend's plus one essentially, just for closure to this entire mess. Now that I've calmed down, I really don't feel any particular way about going. I'll eat, I'll drink, I'll clap, and Sophie will just be the wife of my boyfriend's friend from now on, I guess. I haven't told anyone why I'm not MOH. I just said in the group chat that it was for personal reasons, and everyone can speculate. Once the wedding is over, I'll tell our mutual friends the truth, and they can do with that info what they will. Sophie has reached out since to talk, but I sent her a message telling her that I'll be at the wedding as a guest, and that I hope she enjoys this time in her life, and wishing her the best, and haven't been replying to anything else. It surprised me how quickly I've reached the numbness of just not caring anymore, but that's where I'm at. I genuinely wish her the best, but I just have zero interest in being part of her life anymore. I just can't see her or anything about our friendship the same way anymore. So that's that. I don't really know what else to include. If anyone has anything else to ask that I've missed, feel free to ask. Thank you to everyone who commented. Relevant comments. Downvoted commenter, please don't tell your mutual friends the whole story. Why stir up more drama? Let the whole thing fade away and move on. Op response, because they're going to want to know why we're not hanging out or close anymore, and I have no reason to lie to my friends. Commenter 1. The fiancé could have realized his own mistake in delaying his proposal, and is advising his friend not to do the same. Sophie may just be very emotional and stressed with the wedding, so you've done the right thing by giving her space. I do wonder if she is also recognizing that she overreacted and now wants to make amends before the wedding. You know her best though after 2 decades of friendship. It's really hard losing a friend over silly drama though. I'm sorry, Op. Op response. I had also known my boyfriend for over a decade before we got together. It's not like we started from scratch, and we both went into it knowing we thought we were going to get married. So it's not the same situation at all, and I don't think it's at all relevant to Sophie's relationship. I know she is trying to salvage the friendship by reaching out, but it's like all my feelings have evaporated. I don't feel like there's anything I want to say or share with her. She's the kind of person who would take her issues out on someone over something purely superficial. I don't want to engage with that at all. Commenter 2, info. Your initial post ended with you saying that you had already paid for a bunch of stuff because you were MOH. Did she offer to reimburse you for that? Do you think she waited to drop you from MOH until after you spent the money? Good for you for looking out for yourself. Op response. She didn't offer and I didn't ask. I really don't care about the money enough to keep talking to her. I don't think she dropped me when she did because of the money. I do believe it was a coincidence. And she would probably make a plan to pay me back if I bugged her about it, but I paid for those things for someone I loved at the time. I don't want to take away from her experience just because I can. Op responds on Sophie's insecurities and life being better for Sophie without Op in it, dropping the friendship between both of them. Op response. It's not that I never noticed she has insecurities. Everybody has insecurities. I just never thought her insecurities were focused on me, in comparison. I don't take my feelings out on other people, and I'm not a punching bag for people to do the same to me. And mind you, all this stuff I found about. None of that is things she ever bothered to tell me, or explain to me. She never tried to let me into what she was feeling, or gave me the chance to be understanding. She just presented it as like, sorry, you're just not good enough anymore, as if it was my fault. Again, I just don't have anywhere to go from there. Someone who does that isn't someone I want to share my life with. That's not to do with my ego, that has to do with keeping my associations positive. I really do hope her life is better without me in it. At least then this was all worth it. I hope in the long run we both end up happy. We are in a truce. I haven't done anything to her, I haven't badmouthed her, haven't asked her to reimburse me for anything. I just don't want to be friends anymore, that's all. It's not about being the victim. Other people hurt her so she hurt me. I'm not interested in that dynamic. That's all.